Hello, this is welcome to the Canadian Comic Geek here on Just Push Play at the comic book shop. And if you haven't noticed, I'm surrounded by one of the greatest teams in comics, the Avengers. Although, fortunately, me and this Batman shirt, I'm a little bit weary, so let's just move this way. Much better. Comics and other stuff. Alright, now to start off the bat, there were a lot of comics. A lot of really good comics, but only there were a few that people who don't know about comics could easily get into. Starting right off the bat, issue number 1 of Avengers AI. For those who seen last week's episode, basically where I mentioned the Age of Ultron issue 10 AI, this is basically picks up where that comic left off, or more like this is basically what Hank Pym is doing now. Since he's being a better superhero, he formed his own team of Avengers to fight evil robots. But here's the kicker: most of the team members you're seeing on this cover, they're robots. Well, on the bottom cover, the top two right here are human, which I'm liking who's on the team. We got Hank Pym, we got a Doombot, we got the Vision, we got Ultron's son, and also a weird choice, Monica Chang who's basically it was introduced by Ultimate Marvel, which I'm kind of weird out. She has has 80s hair, but other than that, I like how the team works, like on their first mission, just fighting like evil robots attacking a hospital, and I love how the Doombot is basically challenging the Vision's orders and just basically complaining while he's saving the day, because basically it's going like this is beneath the Doom. Doombot, we can hear everything you're saying. Good. I like this. This is the start of a good Avengers story. So yeah, I say go for it if you ever see it in stores. Okay, next issue, and you can easily jump into this, and it has one of my favorite Batman villains, Detective Comics issue 22. Basically, it's going like the new 52's new version of the Wrath, and basically a little short story to that. The Wrath is basically an anti-Batman. He's everything Batman's not. Like, the colors are different. He instead of fighting crime, he fights the cops, or more like he kills the cops. And basically, he is nuts. Like, you know how Batman is like he really cares for his sidekicks. Well, the Wrath, he doesn't. He will literally kill. He would literally like you have failed me. I only failed you for the first time. That is one time too many. Kick. But yeah, no, it's actually a really good start. And for fans who know Batman fans who know who the Wrath is and have read the only 5 issues that are out there. Yes, my favorite characters in very little comics. Like you can actually see like elements from like the Wrath from the 80s and the Wrath back in 2008, which I'm like, I actually say is an awesome tip-off to that, so kudos. My only complaint so far is that it's his mask. His entire head doesn't remotely remind me of Batman at all, which saddens me, sadly, because then what's the whole point of saying, like, cops say, well, Batman, he looked a lot like you, where his face doesn't look like Batman at all. It's weird. Other than that, I like where this is going. If you can find this, pick it up. Also, part 2 of the Kirk Langstrom Man-Bat story, which the ending has one twist you never see coming. So I recommend buying this issue. I really had a good joy reading this. All right, and this is one where not a lot of people might get, but back in 2008. There was a comic series called Project Superpowers. What it was about was basically Dynamite Entertainment basically used public domain golden age superheroes that you never heard of because they haven't been published since the 40s and 50s. Well, actually 30s and 40s actually, sorry. And basically right around 2010, after they did 2 huge events and a few mini-series of certain characters. After 3 years of an absence, they finally come back with the first issue of the new miniseries, The Owl. And for those fans, you can actually see where things are. But it's like, even if you're not a fan, you would actually like how the owl story goes. Like, first page looks like has like this like 40s 50s drawn-esque style. Then it goes like to modern times, where the owl basically after 50 to 60 year absence goes, everything's changed. No criminal is intimidated or afraid by me. Yeah, criminals are afraid by a guy wearing bright purple and red. I don't know why. I don't know how criminals are not afraid of you. Also, the fact that he meets what his legacy is now is basically, why does my legacy look like bad 90s? Why? But other than that, it's a good reading point for, like, you can easily understand who the characters are and what's the main backstory of it all. So if you do find this, pick it up. You will not be disappointed. Plus, if you do like this and want to read more, check out Project Superpowers. You will have a laugh from some of the superhero names. I promise you. Some of those names are hilarious. All right, and last but not least for today, we have Train of Sin, Pandora, which just came out a couple of days ago. Now, I actually didn't mind this story. I like the fact, like, it just shows the origin story of, like, and it's also a prelude to the DC's new multi-crossover story, Trinity War. I have to say one thing though, for those of you who are fans of and have followed the Pandora story, I still have to say, man, those wizards are dicks. Like, she basically just picked up like a one thing, Pandora's box is that skull. And basically, she just picked it up, and basically magic happened, and the deadly sins of man just came out of her. And basically, the witcher said, "You're the most evilest person ever." She just picked up a shiny rock. If that's considered evil, for God's, I must be the most evilest person there is. No, but it's actually good for an introduction story to who Pandora is and what she's doing. That she's been through a lot, like for 8,000 years before Christ and after. And I do like the villains, the deadly sins of man. For one, they literally just, like, every time they meet, they just taunt her. Like these are villains, like they don't attack her, they just come by and visit and just taunt her. And that's like and I just like, those are really good for villains. My complaint, and for those, is just for, like, because I'm a comic book fan, is this basically because I have followed the stories that lead up to Trinity War. I'm a little disappointed there's a continuity error, where the only wizard who's left, gee, I wonder how that happened, comes to Pandora and says, "Yeah, our bad, we're so sorry. The other two guys are much worse than you. You were innocent," and it took them that long to apologize and realize they're wrong. But no, other than that, I still pick this up because even if it is, say, this is a great comic, it's still good for jumping on point on who the main character is, which I love the costume. And also the fact that it's just basically, it's her against, literally, the universe. So, yeah, I recommend picking this up just to see how Pandora basically finds a way to make up for her supposed crime and basically stop the deadly sins of man. So, yeah. This is Ian Yoxon of the Canadian Comic Geek here on Just Push Play, and thank you for watching.